Hello, everybody. It is your Breedy Brains Brawn, Chantea Goetz here for Healthy Happy Hour with my wonderful co-host, you know and love him, the mad scientist, Jim himself.
Thank you.
Welcome, Jim, to the Healthy Happy Hour.
Oh, Chantea, it's amazing to be here at Healthy Happy Hour.
Isn't it, though?
It is. It truly is.
I know.
So, the world is filled with just racism right now. And it is perplexing to me. I mean, I was just talking to my good friend, the ham sandwich,
Yeah.
and he went into a bar, and the bartender literally told him, "We don't serve food here."
That's preposterous.
Ham sandwich was so upset.
I guarantee he was.
He was pissed.
I would have been too.
Before we get too into things here, you still have an opportunity to participate in the Lieutenant Dennis W. Zielinski Jr. Fund, and 10% of your purchase of One Hope wine will go to this important fund. Injured veterans, home who have done so much for us, are having a tough time. So what this fund does is it takes little puppy dogs and buys them and trains them so they can be paired with a veteran to make their lives well deserved.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
it's a noble cause. And what I would like to do is for every case that you buy, I will give you, out of my own personal collection, another bottle. So buy a case, get another bottle out of our collection,
Absolutely.
out of appreciation.
Yes.
Yes.
I said, no better time to drink and order wine than right now.
Cheers.
It's summer. Did you know it's officially summer?
It is officially summer. Last night was, but the light was out till like 9 o'clock last night. It was awesome. So, what are you drinking and why?
Ooh. Jasmine green tea. It is my newest addition. I had cut out the coffee again because for some reason I love coffee, but coffee doesn't seem to love me in terms of weight loss. So I'm now drinking 3 to 5 cups of green tea a day. The jasmine was definitely much better than plain green tea. So I'm super stoked that I found this in my computer bag. I finished my creatine before. So I'm going through a lot of changes since June 1st, gearing up for the next show I plan to do in September.
This is that conversation about your body's going through some changes.
My body is going through some changes. Good ones.
So let's just, as you know already, but not everybody else out there may know, with green tea. The main component of green tea that's found to be both thermogenic and has a crap ton of antioxidants is the EGCG.
Yes.
Epigolactin.
The EGCG.
Right. Now,
Not your BCBG.
it's actually been shown by taking the pure extract of EGCG that it actually causes liver toxicity. Not a good thing. However, 1 cup of green tea is not going to really do jack squat.
Right.
The Japanese typically drink 3 to 5 cups of green tea per day, and that's why Chantea here is taking the 5 cups of green tea throughout the entire day.
Mm-hmm.
The caffeine is much lower.
Doesn't make you jittery. You can have it. I could drink it before bed and not have any effects.
It's like 5 milligrams of caffeine as opposed to my Death Wish coffee of 400
I
milligrams.
thought it was 600.
Oh, excuse me. I corrected. It is 600.
600 milligrams of caffeine. That'll get you going.
That will get you going. Insane. So what else? You have been stuck, per se.
Correct.
Right? And none of us like to be stuck.
No, we don't.
Especially when you're working really hard. And
Yes.
literally, you were doing textbook everything perfectly.
Yes.
You have more muscle definition than you've ever had before.
I gained 7 pounds of muscles this time last year. So, hello, ARX, and those that are not believers that you can work out on a machine once a week and get results. Boom, it happened.
We typically tweak around a little bit.
Yes.
So if you're just wanting to be in better shape, get better muscle tone, once a week, ARX, 15 minutes, and knock it on out.
Yep.
If you're a bodybuilder, however, you want that time under tension. So we will go 2 to 3 minutes typically per set, and do that bodybuilding split.
Yeah.
So as we track everything in real time, we can see that if Chantea came back 2 or 3 days later, she's not even remotely close to being recovered. I mean, she's flatlining on there. And we want to see her at her peak each and every time.
Yes.
Now, technically, just for strength gain, she doesn't need more than 1 set. But we do anywhere from 4 to 5 sets on here, and 2 to 3 minutes each, and just that amount of tension being put on you, you're spent. I mean, we're seeing you flatline, your arms aren't moving anymore.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's a great way to train because I don't have time. I don't literally have hours to spend in the gym anymore. It was great, before when I did my first show, we didn't have Functionised yet.
Right.
You do what you know how to do. I don't have that time anymore. So being able here, I'm doing everything I need to here. I'm utilizing Carol.
Tell us about this. This is true high-intensity interval training.
Yeah.
How have you incorporated this true high-intensity intervals, and how do you feel that it's been affecting your body?
Carol's been great. I mean, my VO2 max has improved, so...
For those of you who don't know that, yep.
Oxygen better, I'm recovering better, building more definition in my legs. It's been great. I was losing fat for a while. Here's the kicker for me, for a while. Then I hit this past plateau for the last 3 months.
And you were frustrated a lot.
Extremely frustrated because I went from 1 to 2 days a week on Carol to 6, 7 days a week on Carol. So I'm upping my cardio output, upping the ARX, and nothing's happening. I'm not losing weight. Guess what? I started gaining weight, and my diet didn't change. My drinking habits didn't change. So what was going on? Extremely frustrating, especially when you know you have 35 pounds to lose and you're gaining weight. So, and I'm not pregnant. So
that was my first freak out time.
So we had to put on our thinking caps, and I told my coach, because I said, you're not husband right now, you're coach right now, I'm severely frustrated.
And she was. So certain signs and symptoms were starting to become apparent.
Yes.
We added progesterone.
Yep.
Because just of that high adrenaline, go, go, go.
Sympathetic dominance, and I talk about it with my clients, and HRV and biofeedback are great, but sometimes you need more chemical changes.
And we're not talking about the wild EM garbage. It smells nice, but it doesn't actually absorb.
Right.
This is bioidentical, pure progesterone, and absorbs right in the body, 150 milligrams per day.
Lowers the cortisol levels, which are keeping fat on a lot of people.
And a lot of times when individuals have that high sympathetic response, that fight or flight, they're retaining fat at nighttime while they sleep. And this helps stop that. So when you're supposed to be in fat burning mode to survive at night, this here actually lowers the amount of fat storage. So you're actually truly burning fat.
And you sleep a lot better.
Her sleep was starting to be affected as well.
Yeah.
And so those were a couple things to go to progesterone.
Yeah.
If you don't mind going a step further,
right.
We decided to order some more lab testing, a full thyroid panel. Not just the TSH, T4, because when we did get those results back, Chantea's TSH and T4 were picture perfect.
They were great.
Right in the middle of the reference range.
Yep.
Looks perfect.
But something still wasn't right.
Right. So getting that full panel, we found that she was producing too much reverse T3 versus free T3. So the T4 converts to T3, and that's used for your metabolism. Now, what was going on here is reverse T3 is the thyroid hormone that you can't even use. It's worthless to have.
It's like a blocker. It's a fake T3, basically.
Which makes T4 or TSH say, hey, we got enough T3 in here. But in reality, it's not. So we found T3 was low, reverse T3 was high. So we needed to add more T3. So that's what we did. We added more pure T3.
Yep.
And so far, Chantea has been losing pretty rapidly.
Yeah, I would say within the last 2 weeks, it's been 6 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
When I haven't done anything for 3 months.
Right.
So my metabolism has definitely kicked up. My mood's been better. So now I would track my calorie burn on a typical day would be around 1,200, maybe 1,400 calories before I started the T3. And now I'm up to 22, 24, sometimes 2,500 calories a day. So you can definitely see a difference.
Correct.
With my body's utilization of calories and energy expenditure. And then I went back to my long, slow cardio because I respond very well to long, slow cardio. So now I do an hour in the morning, keeping my heart rate between 110 and 120. Keep that fat burn zone.
In the fat burning mode.
And then,
Okay, let me digress from that, just so to help people understand that. A lot of people want to go, 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 go. So their heart rate jacks up. If you're not sweating, it's not working. However, once your heart rate goes above 60 to 70% of your max, you're actually tapping into glucose. And that's all you're tapping into. When you're doing the high intensity intervals, that's great that you tap into glucose, deplete the glucose totally, because in this case here we're doing 80 to 90% of your max. The idea then is not to put that glucose right back.
right.
Now, when we want to actually lose body fat and just start churning and churning and churning away at that body fat, we need to keep it lower. So we're not tapping into those glucose stores, and we're using the body fat. So hence 67% of Chantea's maximum heart rate in that case. And there are times I know you have to slow it down, but you gotta, it's all about monitoring it properly.
And it's an average, so by the end I'm between 118 and 120 with my heart rate there.
Plus, it's cathartic.
It's wonderful. So first when I was, advised to wake up and walk at 5 a.m., a little hesitant,
I got up at 5 a.m.
but he didn't walk. He just got up.
I figured, thought to myself, let me stick it to her. Let me go for the walk on my own. And then I realized, I'm not going to compete in this, so why am I going to walk around the neighborhood?
So then I came to a compromise of
I still stayed up.
6 o'clock, and now I walk between 6 and 7, but I'm up at 5:30, and sometimes 5:15. So I'm naturally waking up earlier, which is what happens when you create a new routine. Your body adapts, and routines are key for progress. No matter if it's in the morning, if it's the evening, you need the same routine. Kids need them, adults need them. Your body thrives better, your mind thrives better on routines. So
Absolutely.
Now I get up, I have my cup of green tea, and I get changed, and I walk around our neighborhood for an hour, which is great. There's hill, so it's incline, decline. So now I'm debating more muscle groups as well. Just a great peaceful time. He tried to embark on my peaceful time last week, and the neighborhood's not big enough for the two of us. Let's just say.
I thought we were tight and close, so I figured we went out at night, had a nice walk together. It was really nice.
Beautiful.
So I figured, you know what? She's walking. I can do my emails. I can do the morning posts. I can do everything I need to do, and even have my little my morning death wish as I walk. So she goes out, and I start to walk next to her, and she barks at me, says, "Get out of my space."
He was way too close. Way too close.
So I went out to the next neighborhood and around to give her that little gap in distance. I eventually caught up, but close couples still need their own.
You need space, and especially if you're doing something that's healthy, it's okay.
And we don't. Yeah, it's just a health thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So that kind of brings us. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. So those have been some of the bigger changes, and being very stringent in my macro breakdown. So I am literally spot on. Perfect.
She's gotten really good. A lot of people don't like to track their macros.
Yeah.
And I find personally that tracking your macros for 2 to 4 weeks, I try to tell people, busted here. I say to people, let's just do it for 1 week. Because once we start saying multiple weeks, they start getting overwhelmed. But in my own mind, I want them to do it for a month. Because eventually, they're going to figure out what foods to eat, when to eat those foods, how much of each, based upon their macros there. And over time, you get to be spot on. Now, if you're not training for competition, screw it, you did it. Stick with it. Stick with that habit. Let's not fall off the horse. If you're training for competition, you're just going to stick with it all the way through.
Yep.
And then the fun part is, since it's been stuck with for 3-4 months, you know your stuff. Which baffles me why bodybuilders can get so bloated because they start eating everything. I find bodybuilders are some of the smartest biohackers on the face of the planet. Absolutely geniuses when it comes
Anyone
to
that
biohacking
can
your body.
drop 30, 40 pounds and look incredible on stage.
Right,
is
to develop muscle
great.
on top of muscle. They know their stuff, they just don't know why they're doing the stuff. And they still do stick with some old school trains of thought, which...
You have to
Doesn't
eat
really.
to feed a booty. That's the biggest one. You gotta grow a booty, you gotta eat to feed the booty. I don't really buy it.
And you've grown a nice booty. I actually walked into the door the other day, I'll admit. We're in the house, I'm getting out of the shower, I'm walking towards my dresser, and I hit the door. because I'm just staring like a little high school kid. So, nice job. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. I do what I can.
Concussions. Team
I
concussion.
can work on that too.
So one of the things I also wanted to segue into here is timing food and what to eat and when.
Yep. That's a big key for me
Mm-hmm.
and for everybody.
There's two top schools of thought that I'm finding right now. One, intermittent fasting. Don't eat in the morning. You take it from the night before into 16 hours. You can start with 10 hours, work your way to 10 and a half, 11. Don't kill yourself, because if you're deciding overnight, hey, I'm going to do a 16-hour fast, even with stopping eating around 7 p.m., you got to go all the way to lunchtime the next day, and you may be hungry and maybe getting on your mind, so what do you want to do? Just gorge at whatever. Not good. The other school of thought, which seems to work very well, is a protein base.
Yep.
The first meal of the day is protein, whether it be eggs, whether it be bacon, whether it be a steak.
Turkey burgers in my case.
Turkey burgers in her case. Even just a pure protein shake.
That's
Not mixed with milk, which has 12 grams of sugar, but you mix it with water.
Those are my go-to mornings.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you have pure protein. Individuals that do that have the satiety. They are recovering from, I don't want to say the night before, but they're literally, their whole body's recovering. And with that, people are losing a ton of weight. It's part of the carnivore diet where people will just eat meat. In this case here, you have that first thing. We want to keep your ketosis going for as long as possible. So eating too much meat in that case is going to knock you out. So just a serving. I mean, you don't really
Mine
need
are
more than that.
between 20 and 25 grams of protein.
Also, what works now that it's getting very nice out, go for a walk in the morning, 20 minutes. And it's not about fasted cardio, because that's already been proven to be bunk. What actually happens is your blood glucose spikes don't occur after you eat because of that. So that's why going for a walk first before you eat is going to help keep those blood glucose levels stable, where you're not getting those insulin spikes as well, and you're going to continue to burn more fat. And now your belly is full, and it feels nice.
Yeah, you're not reaching for more food. You're not,
Correct.
Binging first thing in the morning. Breakfast is not necessarily breakfast. It's when you break your fast, and that's
Exactly
what it is. So it could be at 11 o'clock in the morning. It could be at 10 o'clock in the morning. It could be at 9 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I would go till 1 o'clock. There's one day a week where I do 24 hours of fasting.
Yep. And that's not a bad idea either. It's actually shown to boost metabolism because it's only 24 hours. The metabolism starts to really slow down at 4 or 5 days long.
I've done three
And the
days.
72-hour mark is where you really start getting senescent cell removal.
Yeah.
It's a big help. Now we go towards lunchtime. Now, if you're eating that first meal at 5, 6 in the morning, you're going to get hungry before noon, typically.
Right.
And everything you want to do is obviously going to be very regimented. Those that have disorganized eating schedules have disorganized blood glucose levels. So this is where a shake and a bar come in really handy.
Very.
We got our IQ bars, we've got the keto bars, standard process bars. Be wary though about sugar content. And no amount of somebody saying, hey, the sugar is bound to fiber, so therefore that's beep crap. Absolute horse. It truly is. So say.
Tell us how you really feel, honey.
Okay, so you're still going to have an abundance of glucose in the body. Abundance of glucose in the body. It's crap. So stay
Do you know
low.
what that means? It means you're fatter.
Right.
Yes.
It's not doing you any justice, and it's not doing you any justice, especially when you get it on lunchtime to just after that, because now your body's going to be looking for more. It's going to be feeding and wanting more. So if I'm creating a bar or a shake, I want to load extra sugar in there and not let anyone know about it, just because they're going to have a little bit of a dip in their hormone levels. They're going to crash a little bit, and even better, their brain with that little dopamine rush is going to be saying, I want more. I want more. So all of a sudden that 10 grams of sugar becomes 20, 30, 40 for the day. That's not good.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of sugar.
When we know people that are eating hundreds of grams of sugar a
The
day.
standard American diet. Most
Look
people
at your
can have.
tomato sauces, look at your ketchups, look at your barbecue sauces, and now especially, it's summer, we're all grilling. There's hidden sugars in just about everything.
Say you have cereal, forget the wheat. all that stuff. Say you have
Yeah.
cereal and milk in your cereal for breakfast. I don't care if it's whole milk, skim milk, 1%, 2%, just cereal and milk. The cereal on the good side has got 10 grams of sugar. You've got 12 grams of sugar in the milk, so already you've got 22 grams of sugar in your body right then and there.
It's more than I ate in a day.
So say you have
By like 2.
say you have 2 pieces of fruit later in the day, and we're going to average them
Don't
around.
forget the yogurt because everybody loves yogurt.
Everyone loves yogurt, so we're going to add some yogurt, which is not as healthy as you think. So that's what, another 15 grams right there?
Easy. Most yogurts have over 20 grams of sugar.
Alright, so we'll stick with 20 grams. So
Yeah.
we're at 42 grams right now. Now you have 2 pieces of fruit, which is low for a lot of people because people think fruit's healthy. So now you've got 2 pieces of fruit. I'm going to average it and say 15 grams. That's 30 right there.
Okay.
We're up to what, 70 grams?
Yeah.
72 grams so far. That's 72 grams of sugar, which you don't need. All that's going to do is retain body fat based on the 7 countries study, which tried to vilify saturated fat, to which I posted today on the Functionised website and the Jim Gets Fitness site. Excellent meta-analysis of what's going on with saturated fat, which saturated fat does not cause heart disease. The sugar actually does. So thank you, Dr. Keys, for lying about that one. And booyah, defend that now.
Eat your bacon.
Absolutely. Eat your lard. Now, you have lunch. So lunch, typically we want sustainably another protein source. A little bit of fat, a little protein. This is where the salads fit in so good.
Good carbs.
Really rich mixed greens.
Kale, spinach.
Have a piece of fish that go along with it. A nice piece of salmon, ahi tuna. Make sure you get your mercury levels checked. Some nice seared there. You get some brook trout. These are all really good fish. Now, if you like me and you like some sardines or anchovies, throw them in too. I really like the flavor of it. Throw some olive
I
oil.
tried an anchovy last night at dinner. That
I got secondhand anchovy.
This is so sweet, good Dad.
At least you tried it.
Happy
I'm happy
Father's
for
Day, here's an anchovy.
He was so cute wearing a tie and his.
He did. He wore his little tie. He was adorable. His spiky hair. Anywho.
Afternoon, if you need something again, I highly recommend the bar or the shake.
Yep.
Those are always very good choices.
I had my turkey burger and some Mary's gum crackers, which are, serving size is 13, which I measure out 13 crackers.
If you're going to have a piece of fruit, now would be the time. Probably around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, have an apple with the skin on, so you have the pectin and the fiber that goes along with it.
Frozen strawberries, couple frozen strawberries.
Absolutely. Berries are absolutely amazing. Amazing choice. And then when you get to dinner, dinner typically is almost a little bit like lunch. However, you're free to add a little more carbohydrates at this time. So sweet potato, purple potato, the Korean potatoes.
Those are amazing.
Exactly. Have your greens, as many greens as you can. String beans, Brussels sprouts,
Broccoli.
broccoli rabe,
Yeah.
with spinach.
Yeah, you said Brussels sprouts?
Yeah, I did. We both like them.
I did.
So load up on these items here, and then you can have, again, either a fish or some chicken. You don't even need typically meat at this time. We're really going for more carbs here.
But
towards
not
the end of the day.
pasta, not bread, not
Good
those
alternatives,
type of carbs.
and good alternatives for pasta are going to be the shirataki noodles.
Yeah.
Get over it. It comes wet. It smells a little funny when it comes out of the bag. Boil it. It tastes delicious.
Yeah.
So get over it.
The kids even did.
Kids at first, promise you, said, "Ew, what's this?" because it was clear. Now, when they didn't see it, they liked it. And then all of a sudden, aha, they were good. There's also hearts of palm pasta, which
I really
you
gotta
can't go
try
wrong with
that.
hearts of palm.
We gotta try that.
And then you've also got the chickpea pasta. Now, chickpea typically does have a lot more carbs.
Yep.
Complex carbs, a lot of fiber. But if you're going to have a source of carbs and pasta other than wheat, chickpea pasta is
It's
very
a good
good.
option. Yep.
hmm
Exactly.
You don't need dessert. It is a specialty thing. There are other alternatives. So, yes, mixed berries are a very good option for dessert. However, if you are going to be intermittent fasting, I highly advise against it because you are going to have that last thing that you eat for the night, which is going to cause a mild spike in your blood glucose, a spike in the insulin. So when it then drops, it's going to drop below baseline before it comes back up.
Right.
Your mind is going to be saying, "I'm hungry." You're going to be releasing ghrelin.
And
like
that
gremlin.
does happen. I was guilty of having a couple of strawberries at night with my almond butter. So now I just basically don't have anything. But if I would, it would be almond butter.
If you truly, truly need something right before bed, it's like a gotta have. I highly recommend Flackers. They're flax crackers. They are excellent anti-inflammatory. There's the Mary's Gone crackers. I'm not a huge fan of all the grains. However, they are, I mean, it's moderation, so 13 of them are definitely going to get that goodness. You dunk it in a little bit of hummus, a little scoop of almond butter. I'm not talking about scoops and scoops and scoops. I'm talking about a spoonful.
Like a real serving.
Like a real actual serving, yeah.
You know, if you make a sandwich, you know, everybody likes peanut butter jelly, how much like peanut butter are you dabbing on? Are you doing apples and almond butter? How much almond butter are you actually eating?
Right. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It goes a long way.
It does. It's mindful. It's really about mindful eating.
Mm-hmm.
Timing it the right way and not over consuming the things you're not supposed to consume.
100%. Absolutely.
So, exactly. Abs are coming back. They're there. So, yeah. I mean, imagine losing 6 pounds in 2 weeks, 6 pounds in a week, just by cutting out and making small changes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's possible. You know, we all get frustrated, but it doesn't give you the right to give up. You know, there's a reason that something's not happening. It's getting to the right people, it's figuring it out, and then making the changes, the necessary steps to move forward.
Absolutely.
Ah, you did it again.
So, how about we do our exercise of the week? We're going to do some body weight squats.
Yeah.
I know we've
right.
done body weight squats before, but one thing I've noticed, at least personally, lately, is my hips are getting so tight. So I just want to show you how to get down all the way. It's not exactly about how fast you can do them, it's about doing them properly and correct. You've been sitting all day, get up, and belt up 10 to 30 squats. Now that restaurants are opening, you've been sitting around. It's okay to excuse yourself before the main dish, use the restroom, pop out 30 squats.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I mean, you'll feel much better. Your conversation might be better.
We did a challenge, you know, every time you go to the bathroom, do 10 squats. You know, you can sit there and do that anywhere, anytime. So, challenge to you, challenge to everyone in the house. Get everybody up and moving. Kids can do it too. It's really cute to watch kids do squats.
Yes. And before we do that, lastly, Keto Size Me. If you haven't seen yet, scroll down on the page, and on the Functionised.com/Keto Size Me website, we are going to be, I'm going to be starting a blog on there, talking about how and why we're doing certain things. We've got some amazing guests being lined up for it, so I'm going to start stamping my passport, going around the country, going around the world, whatever it takes. We're definitely investing everything into this. And we had our burger challenge, and
So much fun.
Dr. Mike's going to be eating about 20 Burger King patties from Burger King, yeah. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to, the whole point here for this is, one, to see what a ketogenic lifestyle can do, and two, most importantly, it's the quality of what you're eating.
Yep.
I mean, if you eat pesticide-covered celery, I don't care how much you want to juice your celery, you're still going to get a disease. You want to go carnivore, or you want to go all keto, if you're eating crap chemicals, you're still going to die early, most likely. So we're going to show all the different markers that happen along the way, and have an amazing time doing so. Did a little homage yesterday to Clerks, being here from Jersey.
I still don't
Got
know.
to the quick stop store. We're just going to buy it. I'm just going to have it. Now I can watch it like I used to watch Good Will Hunting and
Yeah.
Social Network and Lord of War and Scarface.
Oh, we haven't done that one in a while.
We should do a Lord of War. We should do Lord of War. But
Alright.
also Clerks. And they're making a Clerks 3. Holy crap, they are making a Clerks 3.
Seriously?
And on the side of
You need
the...
to find someone else to go watch it with.
If you
Anybody
would-
want to date my husband for Clerks 3? I will loan him out.
I will sit next to you without my shirt on.
Or with his shirt on. I don't know what your preference is.
So on the Quick Stop convenience store in Leonardo yesterday, at 58 Leonardville Road,
Okay.
they actually have pictures of Jay and Silent Bob in the window. So
Oh, all
Jersey. So why don't we flip the entire stage around,
Yep.
take off our shirts, and do some squats.
Oh, is that what we're up to now?
That's what we're doing. Because it's summertime! The tan hasn't
typically
affected
no
yet.
shirt Friday.
And it's being filmed here for Friday.
This isn't for Friday.
This is for Friday. Okay. Here I am. And here's somebody going to Sal's, masked up, caned up. Come on, Chantea, Shant. He's staring outside and I feel like I'm about to take off my clothes.
I think you are about to take off your clothes.
I am. Cue the music. Hello, ladies. Anyway, cue the music. All right, here we are. Whoop, whoop. Take off your shirt. Let's do some squats.
All right. Okay.
That's
This is how we roll in the lab.
So,
Clothes everywhere. It's all good.
So what I want you to do is I want you to go all the way down. So all the way down, touch the ground, back up. If it takes a while, you can only go here, you can only go there, whatever it takes. But it's all about getting the depth, shoulders back. Some common mistakes are just bending over, taking a bow, let me bow, touch the ground. Whatever you need to do, get down, touch the ground, back up. Down, touch the ground, back up. As you get better, you can swipe the ground like I like to do. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Just keeps you going.
I don't swipe except on Amazon. Swipe right.
Alright, it's about tan time. Thank you very much for being with us for another healthy happy hour. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you, thank you, thank you. Be sure to share this with all your friends, your family, and as always, live functionized.